Welcome back to Everyday Hockey, presented by DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sport. Don't forget to use promo code THPN upon sign up for a bonus. And if you're a regular user, punch in that promo code for a weekly deal. Today, we talk about the Edmonton Oilers re-signing Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Let's get to the nitty-gritty. The Nougat man himself, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Dylan, the BC boy, signs a long-term deal with the Edmonton Oilers. What does that deal look like?
The most expensive nougat in the world. 8 years, $41 million, comes to an average of 5.125 per season. It's a long deal. It's a long contract, but the average of the deal, the salary cap hit is fairly low, actually.
I think the Edmonton Oilers actually did a great job on this one. They signed their guy long-term, so now they have either a second-line centerman or a third-line, arguably the best third-line centerman, in this Western, division of the National Hockey League, I guess the Western Conference moving forward next season. That's a very, very deep center position that you want on any franchise, and I think they nailed it here, locking up long-term, but to a deal that, hey, they can still build around and fix some of the pieces on the roster, i.e. defense, maybe goaltending moving forward. Yeah,
I think a lot of people are looking at the years and thinking that might be a problem, and, to a certain extent, I'm going to agree with you. I mean, he's going to be fairly old, in the last 2-3 years of this contract. But the thing with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is he's not just an offensive guy. I think throughout his career, he's developed into a good two-way player. And that's why they trust him, on the third line, against, the big matchups against other teams. So, if the offense dries up a little bit, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's still going to bring something to the table.
Well, now they have Connor McDavid and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins locked up, and they're bona fide centermen. I know Leon Draisaitl, he's played the wing with McDavid. Hell, even Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has played the wing here and there. But if somehow this organization would have to move on from, and let's be honest, it would be a Leon Draisaitl. If something happened where they'd have to shake things up because of the cap, at least they have another guy at center who, like you said, is very good defensively. He's a Swiss Army knife, though he's a Canadian BC boy. He has everything. A former first overall pick, and I know you can take that with a grain of salt because the Edmonton Oilers, they missed on a Nail Yakupov, who was also first overall pick. And I think what's different about this guy is he's developed into a great two-way player. When he came out of Red Deer, the Red Deer Rebels, though he played under the Sutter organization, that hard Western, old-school style of hockey with the Red Deer Rebels, he was a scrawny 19-year-old coming into the NHL, and he had a great first season, over 50 points in that shortened 63-game season.
As a first overall pick, too, I mean, you don't expect a player to be a two-way guy. You expect an offensive guy, 90 to 100 points every season. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins didn't turn out to be that, but I think, we're starting to see, like I said before, I think we're starting to see the value in this player in the later years of his career, especially, with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. The spotlight is not on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
And, I think that's actually a good thing for this organization at this stage, because sure, they didn't get their bona fide, maybe elite top scorer who's in that, 80 to 90 point range. And maybe, hell, if the organization was a better equipped for this player to come in at 19 and play that role, maybe, because we know the stage the Edmonton Oilers were at that time, Eberle Hall coming in, but that was pretty much it. Maybe he would have developed into that, but he's adapted and, again, had all the tools. You look at his underlying statistics throughout his whole career, even in his earlier seasons when he had more of an offensive role, when there was not a Connor McDavid or Leon Draisaitl on this team, he thrived offensively, but his analytics, his Corsi, his Fenwick, you look at all his even defensive analytics stats, and even, the layman term ones, he has actually been a solid 50 to, almost 70-point guy every season, and now is developing into an all-around player. I love this deal for the Edmonton Oilers, and I think, he took the hometown deal, and he may even set records as being, an Edmonton Oiler who stayed with his organization for the most years in franchise history.
And what do the Edmonton Oilers need? They need defense. They need two-way players. They don't need the offense necessarily. They have the Connor McDavids and Leon Draisaitl, so Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's perfect for that role.
Yeah, we talked about his contract. We talked about where he came from from the WHL of the Red Deer Rebels. What else do you want to get into here, Dylan, on Ryan Nugent-Hopkins?
Well, actually, I wanted to bring up something else. This is a big day because this is actually the anniversary of the Adam Larson for Taylor Hall trade.
5 years ago today, if I'm not mistaken.
Unbelievable. And it's interesting to see how those two players panned out because at the time, I mean, obviously it seemed like the New Jersey Devils ran away with that. Taylor Hall wins the MVP the next year.
They made the playoffs that year.
Yes, they did on Taylor Hall's back, but now look at Taylor Hall. I mean, he's not doing too much better than Adam Larsson right now.
No, I mean, he performed well in Boston. I don't want to take anything away from him.
I won't take that away from him.
But he's not that 80-point elite player right now, and he's sure as hell not going to be paid like one moving forward in this flat cap. And, you know, nothing against Larsson. He's not a bona fide top defender. Is he a bona fide top 4 guy? Yes, because he can play pretty much in any system and be that rock on the back end. Is he a piece to help win a championship? Sure. Is he a piece to get you there regularly? I don't know. I mean, history is yet to be written with this organization.
I agree. I don't think you can build a defense based around Adam Larsson. You're going to need more pieces around that, and that's exactly why the Edmonton Oilers can't get past the first round of the playoffs.
Hey, and to bring it back full circle, though, that's why they locked up their guy at center. They don't have to worry about the center position, arguably one of the most important positions on a National Hockey League roster. They got the scoring, you know, more than set with Leon Draisaitl and McDavid. Time to build that defense, time to bring in some depth. And, you know, if old man Smith finally hangs up the skates, then they can address goaltending moving forward. That's it for the video today. Tell us how many miles and smiles were in the video in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.